Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of GNN. Today is January 22nd, 2025, and we have another banner night on our hands here. But before we get into the details of our brand new mobile suit, let's go over some news. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like there's no time wasted as we have the reveal of tonight's suit, which is another entry from the F90 Fastest Formula series, the RF Gouf from the Oldsmobile or Mars Xeon faction. But we'll get into the details shortly because we also have a limited supply drop for the 700 cost Hiraru Ra 2. And if you weren't lucky to get it beforehand, this is also your opportunity to get the 650 version as well. So both level 1, level 2 plus respective weapons are up for grabs here. We do have some changes to the recycle ticket counter as follows with the Ghoul, the 2-star raid. I believe it's a 400 cost native if I'm not mistaken. It also has a heavy attack and some limited range options. That's now available if you missed out on this. I don't think we have any DP changes right now. And just to kind of give you some idea, right now we do have an update for the clan match scheduling, with Ace match being the upcoming 500 cost. We also have another 700, which might lend it to an idea of what we're getting next. I have a hankering idea that's probably the F90. Could be F90 Type 1, F90 Type 2. I don't know. It's been a while since we've had a dual banner of the same suit, but we'll see. Hard to say. But later, leading off in February, we have a 300 cost clan match, which, you know, it's been a while since we've had any 300 cost suits, but you know, theories will fly. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below as you're seeing this. And with that, sorry, I kind of preemptively clicked too fast there. I believe this is for the 232nd and 33rd, 34th. This is going to be for the top 10 spot and essentially top 40 for the month of February. I don't know why I'm thinking November. I think my mind's in Christmas mode still. But either way, if you're trying to get that GM shooter, this is your chance. So, jumping into the thick of things, as we've seen, it is a 3-star mobile suit at 600 cost, joining the ranks of the RF Zaku. This is a raid assault unit, usable on ground. Now, mind you, I've already tweeted it out already, and I already had my reaction, but lore-wise, based in the Super Nintendo game and a lot of the subsequent information regarding this suit from, I almost said Neo Xeon, but Xeon Mars, is that this is also, even though it has ground affinity just like the Gouf of the 1 Year War, it's supposed to be able to be used in space. So I'm patiently waiting for them to rectify that mistake, but we'll see. In the back of my mind, I feel like we're beta testing this still, but you know, that's tangenting too far. It is a land-based suit, as we mentioned before, used by the Oldsmobile Army, a Xeon faction based in Mars. It has a specialization in melee, but it comes with its distinctive 5-finger machine gun, comes with a beam sword, which looks really badass, beam rod attacks, and a beam launcher bazooka, very much like the RF Zaku. So, but yeah, basically I had to, you know, wipe my eyes and cry internally when they made it ground only. So we'll see how soon they fix this. If you are doing 10 pulls for this, they do give you a chance to get Ramba Ral's helmet. The crazy part is we do not have his pilot suit, as he never had one in space. I think he had just a regular green generic Xeon normal suit, only because this is slightly supported in the Origins remake for Gundam. But either way, it's kind of weird. Maybe we'll see something in the future. as I mentioned before, also the Hira Ru Ra, I know I'm butchering the living hell out of that, 700 is now available, so I don't know how that's going to hold up, but we'll see for the most part. So, on to the nitty-gritty. Alright folks, here we are right next to our RF Zaku, the RF Gouf, coming in with 23k HP, good old 20s in both beam and ballistic resistance, and a emphasis on melee resistance with the 30 since it's supposed to be able to get in there. Also, not to mention a little more leaning in higher power in terms of melee power versus its range. I would say movement-wise, pretty much par for the course, 135 walking speed with a boosting speed of 225. Pretty generous thruster gauge at 75 with a turning speed of 78. Going into the custom parts slot arrangement, we have a 20 for close range, 15 for medium, and 9 in long range, which for the most part gives a lot to play with. Going into the primary weapon, it has that 5-finger machine gun that all Goufs seem to have, with a few exceptions. This does have a 90 base power with 60 rounds in the mag and an effective range of 300 meters with a 8-second reload time. Now, I don't know if this is multiplied by 5 or not. I'm sure a lot of you guys in the comments would be more than happy to correct me, so let me know if that's the case or not. I do believe that the rate of fire is fairly decent, but the problem being is the build stun, I think, only goes up to a certain amount. I think I've seen it go up to about 66%, but don't quote me on that, mainly because low resolution video. Going into the primary weapon for the RF Gouf, we have its distinctive beam sword, so it's not the heat sword of the 1 Year War, but it looks very, very knightly. Looks like something out of Soul Calibur, personally, something like Nightmare would use. 2.5 second cooldown time between swings, and it has a 2-second charge, which doesn't surprise me that this suit has a heavy attack. And 2600 base power line, this thing is going to be hurting supports if it gets too close. Now, jumping down to the sub-weapon category, it has head-mounted Vulcans, which is a first for this suit. The last time a Xeon suit had Vulcans for 1 Year War was the Garma Zabi, or technically speaking, any of the Zakus that had the FS designation, which his wasn't the only one. We had the Shin Matsunaga one as well. Now, this does have a baseline of 100 power times 4 with 60 rounds in the mag and an effective range of 200 meters with a 10-second reload time. So, pretty standard. I'm assuming also that the build stun for the Vulcans are going to be standard as well, but it's more damaging overall. So that's going to be pretty cool to see how this fares out. Going into the first beam rod attack, it has a 3-second cooldown time between it throwing it out there. 2350 for the base power. It delivers powerful melee strikes, but cannot perform successive strikes. So this is going to be something that you're going to be chaining with your melee and maybe some of the other heat rod attacks that you'll see, which we'll get into in a second, because going into the beam launcher, it looks like it's a specific beam bazooka type weapon. Base power line of 1400 with a heat rate of 45%, 400 meters effective range with a 10-second overheat, 2.0 second cooldown time, and a less of a second focus time. So it focuses very, very quickly, and it requires to do so to even fire, but you're able to move around. And so charging offers suppression and rapid fire, so you can't even dumb fire at all, which is kind of cool and kind of sucks in certain cases, but I don't think it really sucks. Going into the good old hard stun that it has, 2700 base power line, 6-second cooldown time. This is based on the melee value there, so this is gonna hurt for the most part. Pretty standard. And no, you can't combo with this either. Alright, going into the shopping list of skills that we have for the RF Gouf. Has Assault Booster 3, obviously balancers. This has MA3 as well, so this is going to be definitely a fiend to deal with. trying to stop it dead in its tracks. Force Injector 3 as well as 3 swings because of the melee combo controller 2, and it actually comes with the power accelerator, so that's gonna be hard to forget about in some cases, but I think this is gonna be really neat to have, especially when you do clash, because there are probably chances where or instances where somebody's gonna try to help out the team, and they're gonna forget about that. I know I'm probably gonna have a hard time remembering it, but anyways, leg shot goes over 4, so this is gonna be really cool. Double roll for this, and it has flight control 3, so definitely gonna be neat. Anti-blast stabilizer level 1, frontline support level 1, so in conjunction with the RF Zaku's, this is gonna definitely help out the team to get back into the action. And just like the Zaku, this one has a similar skill but more melee oriented, adding an extra 15% damage against top enemies, and right off the bat comes with leg ball for 3s, which none of the Goufs in the 1 Year War ever had, so a much great improvement over its predecessors. So I wouldn't say this suit has it all, considering that the S Gundam does exist in this cost range, as well as some of the other options that people might have or have access to in their hangar. But I can say that with this, it does offer a lot going for it. At the same time, the range options that it does have are somewhat limited. There is good overlap in terms of the range options, but the consecutive range poke may be limited between the beam launcher and getting some of those shots off onto the finger machine gun there. With that said, that concludes tonight's news of the brand new RF Gouf. Let me know what you guys think about it. Have you ran into it? Have you encountered it? And more so, do you guys have it? And how does that fare for you guys as a brand new 600 raid to enter the GBO2 arena of shenanigans? I honestly don't know what I'll do with this, considering that it is a little bit outside of my skill set, but based on what I've seen so far, it definitely looks like a lot of fun, and I'm gonna have to try it out at some point. So, without further ado, that's it for now, and I will see you guys all on the next video. Take care.